Hello and welcome back to Edge Animate Fundamentals. In this lesson, we're going to take a look at what Edge Animate is, what we can do with it, and then we'll take a look at a couple of examples of Edge Animate sites that are out there online. So if you've ever used Flash before, then Animate might look familiar to you. We've got a timeline down here at the bottom where all of our animations take place. And we have reusable symbols that have their own timelines. We have properties that we can edit and animate. So it's a lot like Flash, and I think it was probably inspired by Flash, but instead of spitting out Flash files, it spits out HTML and CSS and JavaScript so that we can create these interactive animations without having to rely on browser plugins like the Flash player. And what that means for you is that the files that you create in Edge Animate can be viewed on any browser, including all mobile browsers. Now, there might be some older browsers that don't play well with it, but all of the modern browsers should work just fine with most of the things that you do in Edge Animate. So again, what we're doing when we're using Edge Animate is we're creating these animations visually. We can add some interactivity to it using JavaScript, and then when we publish our file, when we save our file, it saves HTML files and CSS and JavaScript files. So it's a very powerful tool for creating these interactive animations without having to do a lot of coding yourself. So now that we know a little bit about what Edge Animate is, let's take a look at what it can do. I'm going to jump into my browser, and on the Adobe website at html.adobe.com/edge/animate/showcase.html, we have a few examples of some Edge Animate applications that were created. So we can come down to any of these examples and click on View. And we can see that it's loading. We have some nice graphics here, some nice animations, and all of this is basically done in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, but we didn't have to code all of that ourselves. The creator of this site created this animation using Edge Animate. And this works well in the browser, it works well in mobile browsers, and there we go. So we can scroll through the site and see some of the different examples of the kinds of things that you can create. Now, this is a pretty advanced example. We're not going to get quite this advanced in this course, but you get the basic idea. After experimenting with Edge Animate for a while, it shouldn't be too long before you're able to create some similar types of animations and interactivity. So let's close that and take a look at another example. We have this interactive marquee example. We'll just view that. And here we have another animation. We can hover over these items so we can see the interactivity there. And if we click on one of those items, we see some more animations pop out. And as you can see, this is just kind of a template for creating your own animations. But there are actually a lot of Edge templates out there that you can purchase. There might be some free ones out there too, where you can just pull in a file and then put in your own information. So that's another great example of creating these interactive animations. And I hate to call them animations because it's more complex than just an animation. This is almost a full-on application. Okay, so let's close that and let's take a look at another example. This two birds of a responsive feather. We'll view this one and we'll see that Animate can actually be responsive. If we resize this, you can see that the content inside the browser here is resizing in a responsive way. And it looks really nice. Okay, let's expand that out. We'll close our browser window there and we'll take a look at the next example. And this example is actually a little bit of a game. If we hover over this banner over here, it expands out and you're basically trying to play a matching game here. So we can click on one of these, it turns over, and then we try to find the matching flower. So you can create some really cool things in Edge Animate. Not just simple animations, but full-on applications. Now, obviously, these are some relatively simple applications. You're not going to be able to create a World of Warcraft clone in Edge Animate, but there's a lot of potential there. Okay, let's close that. We'll scroll down a little bit more, and we can see a few reusable templates that you can use in your own work. So those are just some examples of what can be done in Edge Animate. And as we move forward, you'll learn more and more about how to animate and how to create interactivity using the Edge Animate software. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.